The huge gap inside the cow's hoof made it afraid to put its foot on the ground. Even walking toward the hoof trimming machine took a lot of effort. The raised gap in the middle was quite experienced. For the hoof trimming expert, this was already a familiar sight. These machines, though not as swift as bare hands, were still efficient. The grinder was quickly put to work, polishing the bottom of the hoof. Based on years of experience, the expert immediately determined that the problem was on the right side. The hissing sound from inside the hoof was enough to prove the accuracy of his judgment. The knife quickly dug in, cleaning out all the blackened, damaged areas. Before a storm arrives, there is often an eerie calm. If nothing unexpected happens, then the unexpected will surely come. As the first cut was made, the cow lowered its body. A surge of pus burst out, and the cow cried out repeatedly, proving the immense pressure inside the hoof. Those familiar with hoof trimming know that where there's an abscess, there's always an air pocket. The next task was straightforward. Open up the pocket where the infection was hiding. For an experienced hoof trimmer, this was just routine work. The dark shadow beneath the keratin was the root of the problem. But this was only the tip of the iceberg. There were even larger lesions waiting to be uncovered. The process was long, and the cow was in pain. But it had to endure it. Without this minor suffering, it might have ended up on the dinner table. Scraping away the damaged tissue was the greatest form of salvation for the cow. The pungent smell filled the air, and even the hoof trimmer couldn't help but react. A hole beneath the skin caught his attention. There were likely more hidden issues inside. As expected, pressing on it made the pus surge out uncontrollably. The knife carefully cut along the edges, expanding the opening. As more layers were peeled away, dark red scars were exposed beneath the surface. Extreme caution was needed at this stage. A single misstep could cause the cow to cry out in pain. Changing the angle made it clear that the deep gap extended all the way to the bottom of the hoof. It was hard to imagine how the cow had managed to walk with such a large cavity in its foot. No wonder it could barely stand. The non-aligned edges of the hoof were further trimmed, and the infected areas were enough to make anyone take a deep breath in shock. Once the diseased tissue was removed, the hoof was smoothed and polished. The unaffected toe was heated, glued, and fitted with a hoof pad. A close-up of the treated area was necessary for documentation. An antibiotic solution was applied to the entire hoof to relieve the cow's pain. Salicylic acid powder was sprinkled over the wound, followed by a bandage wrap. As the cow stood back up, it was still limping slightly, but time would heal everything.